Welcome to International Trade and Info Channel, your gateway to mastering international trade. Whether you're a trader, exporter, or contractor, we bring you the insights and strategies to expand your global reach. Subscribe and unlock the potential of global markets.
All right, you are welcome to my channels again. This time around, we have been discussing about Incoterms 2020 review, and the sixth rule out of 11 is deliver at place, which is called, in short, DAP. Under this deliver at place, the seller has a responsibility to deliver the goods and make it ready for unloading at the main place of delivery. The seller assumes all risk involved up to unloading the goods. Unloading this time is at the buyer's costs and risk. DAP can apply to more than one mode of transportation, and unless otherwise agreed between parties, the seller cannot claim any remuneration for unloading the goods when it was not the initial agreement for this type of Incoterms rule. So DPA rules require the seller to clear the goods from import and, where applicable, without any obligation to clear the goods for export, pay import duties, or carrying out import custom formality. So it is very clear that once the seller ship the goods to the port of discharge, his responsibility is risk ended, and the buyer will resume or assume responsibility thereafter. And I want to mention this seller's responsibility and buyer's responsibility right now. So I'm starting from seller's obligation or responsibility. This first one is that the seller must make the goods, the invoice, and documentation ready. Second one is export, packaging, and marking for the goods to be exportable, packed in a way that will make it exportable, is the responsibility of the seller. The third one is export licenses and custom formality that will make the goods available or ready for export. These are responsibilities of the seller. The fourth one is pre-carriage. If the goods is going to move from seller's warehouse, factory, or anywhere to the port, this is called pre-carriage charges. So it's responsibility of the seller. The fifth one is loading charges. When the goods gets to the port or airline, that the main carriage, the loading, any loading expenses that is being incurred is going to be the responsibility of the seller. The sixth one is cost of pre-shipment inspection. These are responsibility of the seller right from onset, and from the previous one that we have been discussing, and then you now come on to the main carriage. Main carriage is moving goods from the port or airline to the port of discharge in whichever country is the place of the name place of delivery. So is the responsibility of the seller to take care of that. Then is responsibility. The seventh one is the responsibility of the seller as well to make the good available in the named place as it has been specified in the sales contract. And then the last responsibility or obligation of the seller is to provide the proof of delivery to the seller. And that's where the buyer's obligation begins. Once the buyer receives proof of delivery, so it will go ahead. That's the first obligation of buyer right there. Depending on the payment term that has been used, the buyer will go ahead to make payment. That's the first one. And then the second one is for this rule, seller is not expected to unload the goods. So the buyer will go ahead to unload the goods. And the third responsibility or obligations of the buyer right here is for him to make import formalities and duties arrangement. And then the fourth one is cost of import clearance too. Any other cost that relates to this import clearance is responsibility of the buyer. And then the fifth one, which is the last one on the responsibility of the buyer, is for him to move the goods from the port to his own factory or warehouse. So these are the responsibility that the buyer needs to undertake. So I want to show you as well on the flow. I will always show based on this Incoterms rule. Each flow in operation actually have different dynamics, just like what I explained here. We are going to look at that in the on the system shortly, and let me show you that. All right, on the screen right here, you are checking. We are looking at the flow of the goods from seller's location to buyer's location and their responsibility, seller's risk and seller's cost, as well as buyer's cost and buyer's risk. So we can see from this flow the risk and the cost of sellers up until onward carriage not unloaded this time. For the previous one that we discussed that seller is responsible to unload. It's going to be responsible for the charges or for unloading the goods. But here, that is not the same thing. And from the seller's location to buyer's location, we can see the responsibility and who is also carrying out what, as far as risk and responsibility is all about. And this will also help you as a trader, as international player, to negotiate better when you are on the table of negotiation between your business partner abroad, on which Incoterms rule is appropriate or is better for you. And also, I want to tell you to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel, to my channel, so that every time I upload a video like this, you will be the first person to be notified. So also, if you have any question whatsoever concerning international trade or something that you need, I will help your business, you can put the question on the comment section below, and I'll be glad to answer you, and I will see you in the next video.